Okay, for our moment of inertia on the x and y axis, no? So just a quick review of this topic. Okay. So nagbigay ako sa inyo ng formula or yes, a table sa MVLE kung saan naka-reflect lahat yung mga formulas na gagamitin natin for the moment of inertia. So based on this table, makikita natin na we have formulas for Ix, Iy, certain XO, and then YO. So ano yung ibig sabihin ng mga yan? So pag sinabi nating Ix and Iy, so these formulas are intended if yung ating reference point is the x and y axis. So we will get the moment of inertia referred on the x and y axis. Itong dalawang to. Ito naman yung Ixo and then Iyo if yung ating centroid yung magiging axis natin or yung magiging axis mo is referred on the centroid. So like for example, this one, we have here a rectangle. So pag sinabi nating moment of inertia about the x-axis, so dito tayo magre-refer ngayon dito sa x and y-axis natin dito. This is the x and then the y-axis. So as you can see here in the illustration, sagad yung itsura or let's say sagad yung orientation ng ating shape sa x and y-axis. Nakadikit siya. Pero pag ito yung formula na gagamitin natin, this formula are the moment of inertia about the centroidal axis. So, anong ibig sabihin nun? Ang ating axis is nasa centroid. Ito yung centroid ng shape natin, no? Ito yung axis natin, XO and then YO. So, tatlo kasi yung magiging scenario natin dito for our axis of reference. Ang isa doon is by using the parallel axis theorem na tinatawag. So, ano naman yung parallel axis theorem? So, for example, meron tayo ditong x and y axis, tapos nandito yung shape natin. Okay? So, yung shape natin is malayo dun sa x and y axis and at the same time, hindi tayo nagre-refer sa centroid. So, paano natin kukunin yung moment of inertia ng shape na to? So, ang gagawin natin dyan is Ix is equal to the area or yung moment of inertia natin about the centroidal axis. Ito yon plus AD squared. So, dito ngayon papasok yung tinatawag nating parallel axis theorem. So, sa parallel axis theorem, gagawa tayo dito ng parang axis natin from the centroid of the shape. Okay? So, yung parallel axis na tinatawag yan is ito. Meron tayong dalawang parallel axis. Yung axis of reference natin at the same time, yung axis ng centroid ng shape. So, ito yung parallel axis. So, 1, tapos 2. Yan yung parallel axis na tinatawag. So, yung formula na to, is yung tinatawag nating parallel axis theorem. So, yung first term here is the formula for the moment of inertia about the centroidal axis plus the area of the shape, d squared. Ang d na yan is the distance of the two axes. Ito yung first axis, second axis. So, yung distance na tinutukoy is ito. Yung distance na yan. Okay? Distance. For Ix. Ano naman pag Iy? So, ganun din. Iy is equal to the moment of inertia about the centroidal axis plus AD squared. Ano naman yung D na yan? It is the distance of the two parallel y-axis. Ito naman ngayon. D. Okay. So, ito naman yung maging formula natin for this orientation ng shape natin. Okay? So, just a review. Okay, ulitin natin. Okay. So, we have three orientations ng magiging shape natin or magiging tatlong reference axis of our shapes. First is, if yung ating shape is, kukunin natin yung moment of inertia about the x and y axis. Ito yan. The shape is nakadikit or nakasagad dito sa x and y axis. So, ano yung gagamitin nating formula dyan? Ito yan. 1 and 2. Pag ganito yung orientation, nakasagad yung ating shape dito sa ating x or y axis. So, pwede rin naman na ganito yung shape natin. Ayan. Dito lang sa x-axis siya nakasagad. Or pwede rin naman na dito lang din. Okay. Basta nakasagad siya on either axis. Ngayon, yung pangalawa naman is if yung axis natin is nasa centroid. Nandito naman yung x and y axis natin. So, ang disadvantage dito is kailangan mo munang i-locate yung centroid. So, kung mali mo yung location ng centroid, mali na rin yung makukuha mong moment of inertia. Diba? So, pag ganito yung orientation naman natin, ito naman yung maging formula mo for the moment of inertia about the centroidal axis. And then, the third one is yung gagamit tayo ng tinatawag natin na parallel axis theorem, on which yung ating shape is nakasagad or hindi siya nakasagad on either axis. So, this is y and then x-axis. So, ang gagawin natin dyan, magdodrawing ka ngayon dito ng axis on the centroid. Tapos, ix mo is equal to the moment of inertia about the centroidal axis. So, itong formula na to. Plus, i-add mo yung area and then the distance is squared. So, the distance na to is the distance of the two parallel axes. Since nasa x tayo, mag-focus tayo ngayon dito sa x. Yan. Ang distance mo is ito. Okay. So, yan naman yung main distance. And then, pag IY, so, magiging IYO plus AD squared. So, kung ano man yung distance mo or nung formula mo ng IY, which is ito, plus the area, tapos D squared. So, ano yung D mo? Nasa Y tayo. So, the distance between the two parallel Y axis. Ganyan naman ngayon yung pagkuha for the third scenario. Okay. Sige, balik tayo dito sa example natin dito. Okay. To determine the moment of inertia on the X and Y axis. So, as you can see on the problem, ang magiging reference point natin is the Y and X axis. So, anong ibig sabihin dyan? Hindi natin magagamit yung nakuha nyong sagot dito sa 1 and 2. Diba? So, may possibility na kahit wrong nyo yung 1 and 2, pwede nyo pa rin makuha yung 3 and 4. Ang disadvantage kasi, pag ang tinatanong ng problem is determine the moment of inertia about the centroidal axis, kailangan yung gamitin ngayon yung sagot nyo sa 1 and 2. So, ibig sabihin yan, pag mali nyo na yung 1 and 2, hindi nyo na rin makukuha yung 3 and 4. Diba? Pero dito sa problem na binigay ko, wala tayong pakialam dun sa sagot nyo sa 1 and 2. Na kahit mali nyo man yun, may possibility pa rin na pwede nyong makuha yung sagot for 3 and 4. Okay, so let's start. Moment of inertia on the x-axis muna tayo. So, Ix. Again, this is our y-axis. Tapos, nandito naman yung x-axis natin. Okay. So, ang kukunin natin ngayon dyan is the individual moment of inertia of each shape. Tapos, i-add lang natin sila. Okay, Ix of the rectangle minus, syempre, ma-minus natin to kasi hollow yan. Ix of the semicircle minus Ix of the rectangle. Okay, so unahin natin yung triangle. Ix of the triangle. Okay. Ito yung axis natin. Ito yung shape natin na triangle. Okay. So, nandito yung centroid. So, drawing tayo ngayon dyan ng axis. So, as you can see, may distance or may pagitan yung dalawang, nasa x tayo may pagitan yung dalawang axis. I mean, hindi nakasagad yung shape natin dito sa x-axis. Hindi siya nakasagad. Therefore, ang gagamitin ngayon natin dyan is the parallel axis theorem. That is, IXO plus AD squared. Okay. So, ano yung formula mo ngayon ng IXO for a triangle? So, we have BH cube all over 36. Okay. BH cube all over 36 plus AD squared. Okay. Substitute natin. Ano yung base mo ngayon dyan? 490 times 2. So, we have 980 height mo is 420 raised to 3 all over 36 plus, anong area mo? 1/2 of 980 1/2 of 980 times 420. Okay, ano naman ngayon yung D? Ano yung distance? Ito ngayon yan. Yan, distance. So, alam natin that this distance is equal to, ano yan? 280 plus 280, 560. Plus, distance from this point hanggang dito. Ilan yan? That is 1/3 of the height. Or 1/3 of 420 plus 560 raised to 2. Okay. $560 squared. Okay. So that is equal to 1.0285884 times 10 raised to 11. Okay. Next, for the larger rectangle, trace na natin to. Okay, so ito yung larger rectangle natin, no? Itong shape na to. Yan. So, as you can see here, nakasagad yung ating shape sa x-axis, di ba? Nakasagad siya. So, ano yung gagamitin ng ating formula? Nakasagad siya. Ito yun. BH cube all over 3 lang. Okay, kasi nakasagad siya sa x-axis. So, BH cube all over 3. So, the base is equal to 560. Height, 560 raised to 3 all over 3. So, that is equal to 3.278165333. Okay. Next, punta naman ngayon tayo dun sa may hollow part, which is the semicircle. Nandito naman tayo ngayon. Ayan. Semicircle. So, yung semicircle natin, as you can see here, hindi siya sagad sa x-axis. Hindi din siya sagad sa y-axis. Therefore, gagamitin natin yung parallel axis theorem, that is equal to IXO plus AD squared. So, ano yung IXO natin if we have a semicircle? We have 0.11 r raised to 4. 0.11 r raised to 4 plus AD squared. Okay, 0.11, radius natin dyan is 70. So, 70 raised to 4 plus the area, pi all over 4, 140 squared, divided by 2 kasi semicircle yan. Tapos, yung ating distance, okay, ito yung axis natin. Okay, x and y. So, ano yung distance na tinutukoy? Ito yon, yung distance na yan. Okay, so lakihan natin. Okay, ito yung distance na tinutukoy, di ba? So, alam naman natin yung from this point hanggang dito. That is equal to, from this point hanggang dito, 280. 280. So, ang kailangan natin is this point hanggang dito. So, ano yan? Meron tayong formula dyan na nabanggit na din kanina. That is 4r divided by 3 pi. Okay. 4r divided by 3 pi. So, yung r natin, 70. 3 pi plus 280 squared. Okay. Have 740,924,990.6. Okay, double check. Okay. And then next, for the last shape, yung ating smaller rectangle. Ito naman yung smaller rectangle. Okay. So, as you can see, yung ating rectangle is nakasagad sa x-axis, di ba? Sagad siya. Therefore, ang gagamitin nating formula dyan is just the ix, since nakasagad siya. So, the ix is equal to bh cubed all over 3. bh cubed all over 3. Base is 140. Height, 280 raised to 3 all over 3. One zero two four four 26667. Okay. So, ito na ngayon yung mga moment of inertia natin per shape. So, ang gagawin natin dyan is to substitute dito. Substitute na natin dyan. Okay. Take note minus yung nasa semicircle tapos yung smaller rectangle. Okay. So, diretso na natin. Since naka-store naman siya sa calculator ko. Okay. Ang sagot natin dito is 1.3387514117 times 10 raised to 11 millimeter raised to 4. Okay. So, this is now the answer for the moment of inertia along x-axis.